It was a quiet, lonely night when Anna found herself wide awake, unable to shake the restless energy gnawing at her mind. She had tried everything, reading soft music, even sipping a warm cup of tea, but the stillness of her apartment felt oppressive, its silence pressing in from all sides. The walls felt too close, the darkness too deep, and her thoughts were a tangled mess. She craved a distraction. Slumping onto the couch, she aimlessly flicked through TV channels, searching for anything that could fill the void. After several minutes of static and infomercials, her thumb hovered over an old black and white film. There was something strangely soothing about the grainy footage, the way the muted world moved with an eerie calm. Without thinking, she let it play, settling back into the cushions as the opening credits scrolled across the screen. The film began in a small, dimly lit apartment. Anna's brow furrowed. Something about the room felt familiar. The peeling wallpaper, the crooked picture frame, even the chipped teacup on the kitchen counter. It was all identical to her own apartment. She blinked, unease stirring within her. Coincidence, she thought. Old movies often reused generic sets, but as the camera continued to pan across the room, every detail matched her surroundings perfectly. The stack of books on the nightstand, the slightly ajar closet door, the unmade bed. A chill crept down her spine. Her pulse quickened as she watched, the familiarity tightening its grip on her. Then the film's protagonist appeared, a woman with long, dark hair wearing a faded, oversized sweater. Anna sat up straight, her heart pounding. The woman was her. The same sweater, the same tired expression. She felt like she was staring into a distorted mirror. Her hand trembled as she reached for the remote, but something stopped her from turning it off. The woman on screen moved through the motions of Anna's life, brushing her teeth, making tea, staring out the window with a vacant, haunted gaze. Scene after scene, it mirrored Anna's own existence, down to the smallest detail, the way she fidgeted with her hair, the lonely nights spent pacing the floor, the few friends who visited and always left too soon. Every moment was captured with chilling precision. Her unease grew into a gnawing dread, like she was being watched by something unseen, something malicious. Then the film shifted. The woman on screen was now lying in bed, asleep. A shadow appeared in the doorway, tall and indistinct, its form flickering like static. Anna's breath caught in her throat. She had no memory of this, yet a deep, primal fear told her it was real, something she had forgotten or had chosen to block out. The shadowy figure crept closer, standing over the sleeping woman. The screen flickered, plunging into darkness. A distorted voice whispered faintly through the speakers, the words twisting like an echo. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The image cut back to the woman on the bed, now sitting up, her eyes wide and hollow, staring directly into the camera. Her face was drained of color, lips trembling as if on the verge of a scream that would never come. A single tear rolled down her cheek, then the screen went black. Anna sat frozen on the couch, her breath shallow, her fingers gripping the remote like a lifeline. This wasn't just a film. It was her life, her unraveling. She pressed the power button, desperate to escape the creeping terror, but the TV flickered back on before she could blink. The screen now showed Anna herself sitting on the couch, staring at the TV. Her reflection stared back at her, wide-eyed, pale, her mouth twisted in a silent scream. The realization hit her like a punch to the gut. This wasn't just a reflection of her life, it was her death. Her mind raced, heart pounding in her chest as the image on the screen distorted. Static crackled across the TV, warping her face into something grotesque. Then, behind her reflection, a shadowy figure emerged, creeping closer, its hand reaching toward her. Anna's body refused to move, paralyzed by terror. She tried to scream, but her voice was gone, trapped in her throat. The figure's hand touched her shoulder, cold and heavy, draining the warmth from her skin. A wave of icy darkness swept over her, and the world around her dissolved into nothingness. The TV flickered one last time, then clicked off, leaving the apartment in suffocating silence. When the sun rose the next morning, Anna's apartment was eerily quiet. Her belongings remained in place, but the space felt hollow, as though she had never been there at all. The only sound was the faint hum of the television, still on, playing a film no one would ever watch. A story that ended in silence, with no one left to remember.